If you're an Italian investor, you worry because you think that this is a mess at the moment and you see no end in sight. First of all, who's to blame for the demise of Mario Draghi?
Oh, it is very easy to say because yesterday we had a moment in which the Parliament decided, and there were three political parties decided not to be supportive of Mario Draghi's program. And these parties were at the beginning 5 stars, then yesterday, and that was unexpected, and I think really crazy and irresponsible, Lega and Forza Italia.
Do you regret staying in a coalition with Mr. Conte?
Well, of course, today the discussions about the future coalitions are completely different from what we had until yesterday, because what happened yesterday, it is a turning point in Italian history. We had a government working very well with the respect of the entire community, Italian community, not only business community, the people. Yeah. The people. We had the entire weekend full of calls by people, working people, representative of municipalities, asking for the continuity in this government, but also the respect at European level and at world level. And now everything is gone, and I think it's the responsibilities are very clear. We supported Draghi until the end, and we will try to keep fighting on Draghi's program in the electoral campaign and after the elections.
So first of all, do you think what happened yesterday is reflective of how the Italians would vote in an election?
No, it is not. I think yesterday is a turning point. We had polls until yesterday, yes, but the polls were related to the attitude of the parties that the parties had until yesterday. For instance, Lega and Forza Italia were voted by people, entrepreneurs, SMEs, thinking that they were supporting Draghi on the right track. But now they understood how crazy was the choice of Forza Italia. It was just a choice of power, just the idea to get power and to redistribute power, but they don't understand that we needed and we need to continue on the program that Mario Draghi proposed to the country.
Mr. Letta, if we go to elections, and I think I was looking at polls saying that the most likely outcome, also almost the only outcome, on Wednesday morning would have been a right-wing coalition. Is it still the case?
I'm sure that the voters will change their mood. Really? They will change their mood because what happened yesterday is a storm for Italy, and it is a storm also for the expectations of the Italian people. Working every day and thinking that politics and the parliament has to help them, not has to work only for their own interests. What the parliament in the large majority did yesterday, we were on the other side. We were on the side of responsibility. We supported Draghi. But the rest of the parliament decided on their own interest in terms of parties, not the interest of the country.
So we'll see elections early October?
So. End of September, first days of October, first year that we will have elections. The fall. But we had last year local elections with electoral campaign in the fall, and 2 years ago regional elections, so we are ready.
So what does this mean? I mean, who has it worse? Is it the Europeans? If you're the ECB ready to announce some kind of anti-fragmentation tool, how do you look at Italy right now?
I have to be very clear on that. Italy is a great country with a great economy, great people. It is absolutely democracy. Democracy means that we have the vote. The vote will be September instead of March. Yes. So it doesn't change so much.
It complicates. It must
complicate because what Draghi was supposed to do was very important also for the relaunch of the country during autumn. No. Of course, it is not the case, but I'm sure that the electoral campaign will bring the voters to understand who is responsible and who is not.
There's also a big chunk of money on this EU recovery fund, which is due. Do you think campaigning will be supporting the reforms to make sure that Europe gives Italy that money?
I'm sure, I'm sure that all the parties, they have to be compliant with this process of reforms related to the next generation EU recovery fund money. It is impossible not to be compliant with this money and with this process. So what I propose to all the parties, and I will propose to all the parties during the electoral campaign, and to sign a pact. Yeah. And the pact is that we will be all compliant with this choice and with this program, because this money is European money. It is for Italy, but it is European money.
Do you think they'll sign that pact?
I hope so.
Is the big winner in this Vladimir Putin?
I'm sure that Putin will have a cheers with his Prosecco, maybe, and he will be very happy today. And it's not a good news for Europe, for the West, for Ukraine. And Draghi and our coalition, we were very strong in supporting Ukraine. Italy was one of the most supportive countries. We have to keep fighting and keep helping Ukraine, but I'm sure that Putin today is very happy.
What do you worry about the most in the Italian economy? Again, it's inflation, it's the cost of living, it's this huge proximity actually to Russian gas.
I think the main problem today are inequalities. Inequalities are very high in Italy because of the past, because of pandemic, but they will raise if there's not the anti-inflation capacity that the government was able to put in place. And this is why I think we have to have elections as soon as possible. We hope to win elections, and we hope to continue the program of Mario Draghi.
I mean, a couple of questions actually that I've been getting from a lot of investors is, we haven't voted in the fall in Italy since 1919. Does it actually change anything?
I don't think so. I think the only thing that is that will change it is the fact that we never had a vote with the clear idea that there was a government working well for the country and for interest of parties, the right parties, Lega Nord, Forza Italia, 5 stars, everything has collapsed. That is something completely new.
Do you think you could lead a government come September, October?
It depends on the vote. It depends on the way in which we will run the electoral campaign. But my answer is very short and very clear. I'm very, very confident with the Italian voters. The Italian voters are always very wise, and they will be very wise this time too.